Central's lead correspondent, Akede, joins us for more on this, even as we'll also be talking to Mercy Babajide in a short while. Bernard, let me start with you. You are currently in the convoy of the security operative displaying a show of force in Osun State. Where does that leave us? Because we're hearing that there's been a move from Osogbo to Ilesha and some other places where apparently some people were said to have been killed. Tell us more about this.
All right, thank you, Leko. Well, we currently are still on that convoy, and at any moment now, we may have to move. So should that happen, you would have to permit me. I would have to get into the vehicle. The security operatives have told us that they do not want to leave us behind. So like you have said, yes, we got the information that about 3 people may have been killed yesterday, resulting from electoral violence, and the security operatives have decided that they would take their trail of show of force from Osogbo into Ilesha and other parts. The Commissioner of Police and some of the other operatives did eventually get to the location where these people, or at least one of them, was said to have been killed. There have been disparities. Some say the killings may be linked to electoral violence. Others have said that it may just be cult clashes. Until the investigations are concluded, we cannot exactly say what has led to these killings. But, coincidentally, this is happening around the time, when the election is just a few days away. So the Commissioner of Police has said that they believe, or he believes, that the state will be well secured and protected before, during, and of course after the election.
Bernard, before I let you go, now we are looking at the convoy, and this number of the vehicles we are seeing and the security operatives, I must say, is quite intimidating. So in your own opinion, do you actually think this will be enough to ward off violence before and during the forthcoming election?
Well, excuse me, Leko, you used the right word. Intimidating is what anybody who sees this convoy, is the adjective that you would use. With this number of security operatives, bear in mind that this is not just the police, like what was done last week. This is a combined effort by the police, the army, the navy, even the Air Force. And then we have the NSCDC, we have the Federal Road Safety Corps. For anybody who would decide to come out and perpetrate any kind of electoral violence during the election, you must be a brave person. Seeing this trail of convoy that's going around, I want to believe that with the right deployment, there should be adequate security provided by all these security personnel that we're seeing on ground. But then again, election is election. We still get to have, and again from experience that we've seen, we still get to have certain persons who try, once in a while to perpetrate some kind of electoral violence. Again, like I said, such people will be quite brave following what we have seen today to decide to do any of such. So I would want to believe that there should be, adequate security around the election. Hope is the word again. We hope that this security detail, will be strong enough to ward off any kind of violence come the election on August 15th.
All right, thank you so much, Bernard Akede, for sharing these details with us. Let's now talk to Mercy Babajide. Tell us where you are and what the situation is as regards the people, the election that is coming, and the security situation in that area.
Okay, hello. The video you just saw about 2 minutes ago was a video of the Nigerian army going through the center of Osogbo, where there was a major show of force. We saw about 10 to 15 vehicles move around, and they were beating the bells just to show that, yes, this election is going to be a no-nonsense one, and it looks like they are not ready or willing to take any violence of whatsoever. But earlier on today, we were at a civil society organization gathering, Justice Development and Peacemakers Center in Osogbo here, where they spoke about the fact that they want peace and they want major stakeholders to equally be involved in this election, not just the political parties. And they've tracked about 538 political campaigns since the election campaign started, and sensitization of 152 were from all sectors, from both INEC, basically all the electoral umpire. But then let's move away from that and get reactions from the people. Right now, I'll be talking to Mr. Musbao, and he would be telling me about what he feels about the election. Because before we came out from the civil society gathering, we received pictures from one of the APC media aid, where he spoke about how 3 people were shot down in Ilesha, and these persons are said to be APC members. And of course, like Bernard earlier said, he spoke about how the CP is, of course, on ground at Ilesha. But then let's take the reactions of Mr. Musbao. Mr. Musbao, Eka Sansa. Kí ni reaction yín sí kí ni reaction yín sí rògbòdìyàn àti gidigbo tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ọ̀ṣun kí election yìí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níjọ́ Saturday?
Adúpẹ́ ọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba ló ní gbogbo ọpẹ́. Ẹni tí a kàn bẹ̀ àwọn olórí wa ni pé the way bí wọ́n ṣe bá handle Òṣogbo, kàn bá handle other town tó tún round Òṣogbo, kàn bá handle ẹ̀ náà bẹ́ẹ̀, security pọ̀ lóṣogbo, kàn bá rántí àwọn ìlú kéréje tó tún wà tó súnmọ́ Òṣogbo, so that irú àlàáfíà tó wà nílùú Òṣogbo yóò lè wà láwọn ìlú náà. Láàárọ̀ kò tí ì pẹ́ tá a gbọ́ ní tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Iléṣà. Báde sí ń gbọ́ ní gbogbo ìgbà nìyẹn. A kàn bẹ̀ wọ́n ni, a rọ̀ wọ́n ni, a fógun, a fẹ́ wàhálà níbi election yìí. Àwa làá fi ọkàn ara wa làá fi yàn fún ẹni tó bá wù wá, kì í ṣe pé bóyá wọ́n fọ́ọ̀sì wa láti pé yá ẹ lọ tẹ̀ka pélé yìí, because ebi ń pa wá nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, we are hungry, ebi ń pa wá. So àti gbogbo wa àti mọ tá a ṣe, Ọlọ́run sì yàn fún wa, Ọlọ́run ni ó yàn ẹni tá a fẹ́ fún wa tí ó rọ̀ wá ebi tó ń pa wá yìí tí ó bá rọ̀ wá nítorí níbẹ̀ nìyẹn.
Well, translating what he said that of course they have heavy security operatives in Osogbo, but then he would like to implore that they of course push this out to other towns in Osun State, given that Osogbo is of course the state capital, but then he said all the neighboring towns, they equally need heavy security operatives, because it feels like because Osogbo is safe, most of the towns at the outskirts are no longer safe for people because there is no heavy presence of the security operatives in most of those towns. And he said come the elections, God willing, they would of course come out to vote for who they feel and who they want to vote for. Over to you in the studio.
All right, Mercy, thank you so much for sharing this information with us. Of course, before I let you go, Bernard, I don't know if I can just quickly take this. Now, what would you say the focal message has been within the camps of the governor and the political stalwarts of various parties that have even visited the Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife, because we know how influential and instrumental these traditional institutions are when it comes to certain narratives around election and having a peaceful exercise in the country?
Thank you. And that is indeed a very good question, Leko. We know that Osun State is a very traditional state. First of all, Ile-Ife is here in Osun State, you know, the seat, like they say, of the Yoruba kingdom. There was the Osogbo festival here while we were here. So there's a lot of traditional activities and, of course, involving a lot of traditional leaders. Now, the governor himself, alongside the other political leaders here, are joining hands with the traditional leaders and, I must say, religious leaders as well, encouraging them to speak to their people, knowing how influential they are and how influential they can be in terms of ruling the land here. And so, of course, going through them, the governor and other politicians are asking that they speak to their people and their followers to ensure that violence will not be the activity come the election. Also trying to use them to galvanize votes in any way that they can, ensuring that the people come out, you know, and participate in the election that is forthcoming. They are concerned about voter apathy because of the kind of violence that we're beginning to see. So yes, these traditional leaders are going to be quite instrumental in terms of galvanizing the voters to come out on August 15th to cast their vote.
Thank you so much, Bernard Akede, and of course, Mercy Babajide once again. Definitely we'll circle back to the both of you. You're doing a fantastic job, I must say, anyway, covering pre-election, and we know that you are going to be there for this election, of course, cycle that will be going down in Osun State, and definitely we'll have you share more of the details with us and with our viewers, of course, watching the channel.